Watch it. The words left my mouth before I could stop them. One second I was walking toward the hotel entrance, minding my own business. The next I was stumbling backward, nearly hitting the pavement as someone barreled into me. Strong hands grabbed my wrist, steadied me. I looked up, ready to unleash hell on whoever just... Oh no. Ethan Cross. I recognized him immediately, that sharp jawline plastered across every business magazine, those cold, calculating eyes that had stared down senators and CEOs alike. The man is worth more than some small countries, and he was gripping my wrist like I was a lifeline. "I need you to do something for me," he said, his voice low and urgent. I yanked my arm back. "Excuse me?" Around us, chaos erupted. Paparazzi swarmed like locusts, cameras flashing so fast I could barely see. Voices screamed over each other. "Ethan! Is it true about Victoria? Did she really take the files? Are you investigating her? Ethan, look here." He didn't look at them. He looked at me, and there was something in his expression I didn't expect. Desperation. "Pretend to be my girlfriend," he whispered. "Right now. I'll pay you whatever you want." I blinked. Once. Twice. Then I laughed. Not a polite laugh. A real one. The kind that makes people uncomfortable. "You think you can buy me?" I asked, loud enough that the nearest cameras caught it. His jaw tightened. "Name your price." "Let go of me." "Listen." "No. You listen." I stepped closer, invading his space the way he'd invaded mine. "I don't pretend. I don't play games. And I definitely don't jump when billionaires snap their fingers." The cameras went wild. "Lovers quarrel. She's rejecting him. Who is she?" I saw the exact moment Ethan realized what was happening. His eyes widened just slightly. The paparazzi weren't backing off. They were leaning in. They smelled blood in the water, and right now, we were the sharks. He made a choice. "Please." The word came out rough, almost broken. "One night. That's all I'm asking. Help me get through tonight, and I'll never bother you again." I studied him. Really looked at him. This wasn't the confident billionaire from the magazines. This was a man on the edge, trying desperately not to fall. And despite every instinct screaming at me to walk away, I found myself curious. Why was he this desperate? What was he running from? "Fine," I said. "But we do this my way. No touching without permission. No lies I don't approve. And if you grab me like that again, I'm gone. Understood?" Something flickered in his eyes. Surprise, maybe. Respect. "Understood." I turned to face the cameras, and Ethan moved beside me. Close, but not touching. Smart man. "Hi, everyone," I said, smiling like this was totally normal. "Sorry for the confusion. We were just having a little disagreement about dinner plans." "Who are you?" someone shouted. "I'm Maya." "Maya who?" "Maya, none of your business," I shot back. And a few people actually laughed. Ethan's hand hovered near my back but didn't make contact. He was learning. "We're late for the gala," he said, his voice steady now. Professional. "If you'll excuse us." The crowd parted slightly, and we walked forward together. Every step felt choreographed, calculated. I kept my smile easy, my shoulders relaxed. But inside, my mind raced. What the hell had I just agreed to? Before this fake relationship turns very real, tell us the country you're watching from, and don't forget to rate the story from 0 to 10. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what happens next. The hotel lobby was even worse than outside. Crystal chandeliers, marble floors, people in designer clothes are worth more than my rent, and every single one of them turned to stare as we entered. "Smile," I whispered. "They're watching." "I know how to handle—" "No, you don't. Not this." I looped my arm through his, and I felt him tense. "Relax. If you look uncomfortable, they'll know something's wrong." "You're enjoying this," he muttered. "Immensely." A reporter blocked our path. Young woman, sharp suit, sharper eyes. "Mr. Cross, can you comment on the allegations that Victoria Chen stole confidential documents before leaving your company?" I felt Ethan's arm go rigid under my hand. "We're here for the gala," Not to discuss. Victoria made her own choices, I interrupted smoothly. And she'll face the consequences of those choices. But tonight isn't about her. It's about supporting the Children's Hospital Initiative. Don't you think that's more important than gossip? The reporter blinked, clearly thrown off. But the children waiting for treatment don't care about corporate drama, I continued, my voice gentle but firm. They care about hope, about second chances. Maybe we should focus on that instead. Silence. Then, cameras started clicking again, but the energy had shifted. I'd given them a sound bite, but not the one they wanted. I'd redirected the narrative. As we moved past her, Ethan leaned down. "Who the hell are you?" he asked quietly. "Someone who actually knows how to handle a crisis?" I replied. "Unlike your PR team, apparently." "My PR team is the best in the country." "Then why am I here?" He didn't have an answer for that. We reached the elevators, and I pressed the button for the top floor. The doors closed, sealing us in blessed silence. Ethan immediately stepped back, putting distance between us. "That was," he started. "Effective?" I was going to say terrifying. "Same thing." I leaned against the elevator wall, studying him. Up close, without the cameras and chaos, he looked tired. Really tired. "So, want to tell me what tonight is actually about?" "A gala. Charity event. Networking." "Try again." His eyes narrowed. "What makes you think—" "Because men like you don't panic. You don't grab random women off the street and beg them to pretend to be your girlfriend. Something scared you. What was it?" The elevator dinged. 23rd floor. "We need to establish ground rules," Ethan said, ignoring my question. "I already did. No touching without permission, no unapproved lies, one night only." "I meant for inside the event." "Then talk fast. We have about 30 seconds before those doors open, and the show starts again." He straightened his tie, armor going back up. "Stay close to me. Don't wander off. If anyone asks personal questions, I'll deflect them the same way I deflected that reporter." "I'm not an idiot, Ethan. I never said—" "You were about to." The elevator slowed. "Anything else?" "Yes." He turned to face me fully. And for the first time since we'd met, he actually looked at me. Really looked. "Thank you." The sincerity in his voice caught me off guard. "Don't thank me yet," I said as the doors opened. "The night's just getting started." Smile. They're watching. The ballroom was a sea of expensive suits and designer gowns. Chandeliers dripped crystal. Champagne flowed like water. A string quartet played something classical in the corner. This was the world of the ultra-wealthy, and I'd just walked into it on the arm of one of its kings. Every head turned when we entered. I felt Ethan's arm tense under my hand again, and I squeezed gently. A reminder. Relax. "Mr. Cross," a silver-haired man in an impeccable tuxedo approached, hand extended. "So glad you could make it. And who is this lovely young lady?" "Richard." Ethan shook his hand, his professional mask firmly in place. "This is Maya. Maya. Richard Thornton, CEO of Thornton Industries." "Pleasure," I said, shaking Richard's hand with just the right amount of firmness. "The pleasure is mine. I don't believe we've met before. What do you do, Maya?" Here it was, the first real test. I could feel Ethan beside me, probably panicking about what I'd say. Would I blow his cover? Demand money? Make a scene? "I'm between projects right now," I said smoothly. "But I used to work in investigative journalism." Richard's eyebrows rose. "Journalism? How fascinating. For which publication?" "Several, actually. But I'm taking some time to figure out my next move." I smiled. Turns out, standing up for the truth doesn't always pay the bills. Richard laughed, but there was something calculating in his eyes now. "Yes. Well, truth can be rather expensive. Only if you're afraid of it," I replied sweetly. The tension shifted. Richard's smile tightened just slightly. "If you'll excuse me," he said, already backing away. "I see someone I need to speak with. Lovely meeting you, Maya." The moment he was gone, Ethan leaned down. "What the hell was that?" he hissed. "Honesty. You told him you're a journalist." "I told him I was a journalist," Past tense, which is true. I grabbed 2 champagne flutes from a passing waiter and handed one to Ethan. Besides, lying about who I am would have been worse. These people can smell desperation a mile away. You, trust me, I interrupted. Or don't. But if you're going to second-guess everything I do, this night is going to be very long for both of us. He stared at me. Then slowly, he nodded. Fine. But warn me next time before you decide to be honest. Where's the fun in that? A woman in a red gown approached, mid-40s, diamonds dripping from her neck and wrists, and a smile that didn't reach her eyes. Ethan, darling. She air-kissed both his cheeks. I heard the most scandalous rumor about you and Victoria. Please tell me it's not true. Diane. Ethan's voice could have frozen hell. This is Maya, my girlfriend. Maya, Diane Lancaster. Diane's eyes raked over me like I was a bug under a microscope. Girlfriend? How unexpected. She turned that fake smile on me. I don't believe I've seen you at any of the usual events. That's because I don't usually attend them, I said. Too much champagne, not enough substance. Her smile faltered. Maya prefers more meaningful ways to spend her time, Ethan added. And I caught something new in his voice. Amusement. How noble, Diane said, her tone dripping condescension. And what exactly does... Diane. A man appeared beside her, hand on her elbow. We should go say hello to the Mitchells. But I was just... Now, dear. They left. I took a sip of champagne. That was Diane Lancaster, Ethan said quietly. Her husband owns... Lancaster Media Group, I know. They killed one of my stories 3 years ago. I watched them disappear into the crowd. She's exactly as charming as I imagined. You're making enemies. I'm making impressions. There's a difference. I set down my champagne. They're going to talk about me anyway. Might as well give them something interesting to say. Ethan looked at me for a long moment. You planned this, he said slowly. Coming here, being honest about your background, making these people uncomfortable, you're controlling the narrative. Took you long enough to figure it out. Why? Because if I'm going to pretend to be your girlfriend for a night, I'm going to do it right. These people need to believe you'd actually date someone like me, someone who doesn't care about their money or their opinions, someone who scares them, Ethan finished. Exactly. He laughed. Actually laughed. The sound was low and genuine, and it transformed his entire face. My PR team is going to have a heart attack. Good. They're probably the ones who got you into this mess in the first place. His laughter died. You don't know anything about my situation. Then tell me. Why should I? Because I'm standing here in a borrowed dress, pretending to be in love with you, and I don't even know why. I stepped closer, dropping my voice. What happened with Victoria? What did she take? That's not... And why does it matter so much that you grabbed a complete stranger off the street and begged her to help you? His jaw clenched. You wouldn't understand. Try me. For a moment, I thought he might actually do it. Open up. Tell me the truth. Instead, he grabbed my hand. Come on, he said. They're starting the auction. We need to be seen. He led me through the crowd, and I let him. But I filed away that moment of vulnerability, that almost confession, because something was very wrong in Ethan Cross's perfect world, and I was going to find out what. If you're enjoying this unexpected power shift, hit subscribe, because this story is only getting deeper. The auction was exactly what I expected. Rich people bidding obscene amounts of money on things they didn't need, patting themselves on the back for charity while the champagne kept flowing. Ethan bid $50,000 on a weekend in the Hamptons. Someone else bid $60,000. He went to $70,000. I put my hand on his arm. What are you doing? I whispered. Winning. For what? You don't even want a weekend in the Hamptons. It's not about wanting it. It's about showing everyone you're still on top, still powerful, still winning. I squeezed his arm. Let it go, Ethan. I can't. Why not? Because if I let someone else win, even something as stupid as this, they'll think you're human. God forbid. He looked at me, and something shifted in his expression. Some of that rigid control cracked. Just a little. Sold, the auctioneer called. To bidder 73 for 65,000. Ethan had let it go. There, I said softly. Was that so hard? You have no idea what you just cost me. Pride isn't currency, Ethan, no matter how much you pretend it is. Before he could respond, someone tapped my shoulder. I turned to find a young woman, maybe mid-20s, with kind eyes and an uncertain smile. Excuse me, she said. I'm so sorry to interrupt, but are you Maya Chen? My blood ran cold. Chen, my real last name, the one I never used anymore. Yes, I said, carefully. Her face lit up. Oh my God, I knew it. I'm Sarah. I was in journalism school when you broke the Meridian story. You're the reason I got into investigative work. Ethan was still beside me. Thank you, I managed. I can't believe you're here. Are you working on something new? Because I've been following the Meridian aftermath. And there are some things that never added up, like the subsidiary payments and... Sarah. I kept my voice gentle but firm. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I'm not working on anything right now. Just taking a break. Oh, right. Of course. Her face fell. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. It's fine. Really. I smiled at her. Keep digging. People like you are the reason the truth still matters. She nodded, squeezed my hand, and disappeared back into the crowd. I didn't look at Ethan. The Meridian story, he said quietly. That was you? I don't want to talk about it. You exposed one of the biggest corporate fraud schemes in the last decade. 3 executives went to prison. The company collapsed. I said I don't want to. Meridian was a subsidiary of Cross Industries. The words hit me like a physical blow. I turned to face him, and the look on his face told me everything. He knew. He'd known who I was before we even walked into this building. You ran a background check, I said slowly. Of course I did. When? The moment we got into the elevator. I laughed, but it wasn't a happy sound. So this whole night, what? You were testing me? Seeing if I'd come after you next? No. Then what? He stepped closer, and for the first time, I saw something raw in his eyes. Fear. I needed to know if you were dangerous, he said, and now I do. Am I? Yes. His voice dropped to barely a whisper. Because you're the one person in this room who isn't afraid of me, and that terrifies me more than anything Victoria could have stolen. My heart pounded. This wasn't the script we'd been following. This was real. Ethan, I need some air. He turned away. Stay here. Mingle. I'll be back in 10 minutes. He left before I could respond. I stood there, surrounded by strangers, my mind racing. Meridian, Cross Industries, Ethan Cross. The connections clicked into place like puzzle pieces I'd been too blind to see. I'd exposed a company that had ties to his empire. I'd cost him money, reputation, maybe more. And yet he'd brought me here. Trusted me to play his girlfriend. Let me into his world. Why? Excuse me, miss? A waiter appeared beside me. Someone asked me to give you this. He handed me a folded piece of paper and disappeared. I opened it with shaking hands. Rooftop? Now. Come alone. No signature. I should have ignored it. Should have stayed in the ballroom where it was safe and public. Instead, I went to find the stairs. Because whoever had sent that note knew something, and I'd spent too many years as a journalist to ignore a lead. I know who you are. The rooftop was empty. City lights sprawled below like scattered diamonds. Wind whipped my hair across my face. Hello? I called out. Silence. Then, you came. I spun around. Ethan stepped out from behind a maintenance door, his jacket gone, his tie loosened. He looked different up here, more human, more vulnerable. You sent the note? I said. I needed to talk to you away from everyone else. Why? He walked to the edge of the rooftop, gripping the railing. Because I need to know something, and I need you to be honest with me. I've been nothing but honest with you all night. Why did you agree to help me? He turned to face me. You don't know me. You don't owe me anything. In fact, you have every reason to hate me after what I did to your career. What you did? I moved closer. You didn't do anything. Meridian's collapse wasn't your fault. Wasn't it? His laugh was bitter. Cross Industries owned 40% of Meridian. We knew about the fraud. My father knew. The board knew. And we did nothing because we were making too much money. You knew? Not at first. But when the rumors started, he ran a hand through his hair. I wanted to investigate, to expose it from the inside. But my father threatened to disown me if I said anything. Said it would destroy the family legacy. So I kept quiet. And people lost everything because I was too much of a coward to... Stop. I grabbed his arm, forced him to look at me. You were what? 22? 23? And your father controlled everything. You couldn't have stopped it. I could have tried. And he would have crushed you. Just like he crushed me when I published that story. I let go of his arm. The Lancaster Media Group killed my follow-up investigation. Buried it so deep I couldn't find work for 2 years. You want to know why? Because your father called in a favor. Ethan's eyes widened. I didn't know. Of course you didn't. Men like your father don't tell their sons about the bodies they bury. I turned away, looking out at the city. For a long time, I blamed everyone connected to Meridian, including you. But then I did my research, found out you'd tried to go to the SEC, tried to blow the whistle. And your father had you committed to a psychiatric facility for 3 weeks, to keep you quiet. The silence stretched between us. How did you find out about that? Ethan asked, finally. I'm an investigative journalist, remember? We're good at digging up secrets. And yet you still agreed to help me tonight. I agreed because I wanted to know if you were like your father. I faced him again. And you're not. You're desperate and drowning and trying so hard to be good in a world that punishes goodness. It's exhausting to watch. Something broke in his expression. Victoria didn't steal documents, he said quietly. She planted them. What? She's working with my father. He wants to oust me from the company, and she's helping him do it. The scandal, the media attention, all of it. It's designed to make me look unstable, unreliable. So the board will vote me out. Why would she do that? Money. Power. Maybe she loves him. I don't know. He laughed hollowly. I trusted her, told her everything, and she used it all against me. Is that why you needed me? To look stable? To show the board you're not falling apart? Partly, but mostly, he stepped closer. I needed someone who couldn't be bought. Someone who'd tell me the truth even when it hurt. And you're the only person I could think of who might actually do that. My heart thundered in my chest. Ethan, I know this is insane. I know you have every reason to walk away, but I'm asking you anyway. His eyes met mine. Help me fight him. My father, he's been getting away with this for decades, buying silence, burying stories, destroying anyone who gets in his way. And I'm tired of being part of it. You're asking me to go to war with one of the most powerful men in the country. Yes, that's suicide. I know. I studied his face, saw the fear there, the desperation, the tiny spark of hope. What proof do you have? I asked. Files, emails, recordings, everything Victoria was supposed to destroy. She doesn't know I made copies. And if I do this? If I help you? What happens when we win? If we win, my father goes to prison. Cross Industries gets gutted, and I lose everything. That's not much of a sales pitch. I know. He smiled sadly. But it's the truth. And I think you value that more than money. He was right. Damn him, he was right. One condition, I said. We do this my way. Full transparency. No lies, no cover-ups. If we're burning down your father's empire, we burn all of it. Even the parts that make you look bad. Agreed. And when this is over, you fund a new investigative news outlet, one that can't be bought or silenced. Done. I held out my hand. Then you've got yourself a partner. He shook it, and his grip was firm, solid. Thank you, he said. Don't thank me yet. Your father is going to come at us with everything he has. I know. He'll try to destroy you. He already has. I smiled. Then I guess we've got nothing to lose. This is where everything changes. Subscribe now so you don't miss the moment Ethan realizes the truth. We went back downstairs. The gala was winding down, and people were starting to leave. But the moment we entered, I felt the shift. Everyone was staring. Not the curious, interested stares from earlier. These were different. Hostile. What happened? I whispered. Ethan's face had gone pale. On the screens around the ballroom, the ones that had been showing images of sick children and inspiring quotes, a new image appeared. Me. In a mugshot. The headline below read, Ethan crosses new girlfriend, disgraced journalist with history of fabricated stories. No, I breathed. But there was more. Article excerpts, quotes from unnamed sources, claiming I'd made up evidence, bribed witnesses, destroyed innocent lives for ratings, all of it lies, all of it perfectly crafted to destroy my credibility. Ethan grabbed my hand. We need to leave, now. But it was too late. Diane Lancaster stepped in front of us, her smile venomous. Leaving so soon? She asked. But we were just getting to know your girlfriend. Get out of my way, Diane. Tell me, Ethan, does the board know you're dating a fraud? Someone who invents scandals for attention? She looked at me. Or did you think we wouldn't check your background? That's not... I started. Oh, it's all here. Public record. You were fired from 3 publications for ethics violations, had your license revoked. You're basically a con artist with a laptop. The crowd pressed closer. That's enough, Ethan said coldly. Is it? Because I think the board will be very interested to know that their CEO is romantically involved with someone who... Diane. A new voice cut through the noise. Everyone turned. An older man stood at the edge of the crowd. Silver hair, expensive suit, eyes like chips of ice. I knew him from photos. Robert Cross, Ethan's father. Let them go, Robert said calmly. This isn't the time or place. Diane hesitated, then stepped aside. Robert walked toward us, and the crowd parted like he was royalty. Son, he said, putting a hand on Ethan's shoulder, I think we should talk. Privately. I have nothing to say to you. But I have plenty to say to you. His eyes flicked to me. And to your... friend. The threat was clear. Ethan's hand tightened around mine. Fine, he said. Let's talk. We followed Robert out of the ballroom, down a hallway, into a private conference room. The door clicked shut behind us. Robert turned, and his pleasant expression vanished. You've made a mistake, he said to Ethan. I've made a lot of mistakes. You'll have to be more specific. Don't be clever. It doesn't suit you. Robert looked at me. Ms. Chen, I've heard a lot about you. I'm sure you have, since you're the one who spread those lies about me. He smiled. Lies? Everything on those screens is public record. Public record you created, fabricated stories, paid witnesses, forged documents. I stepped forward. But I kept copies of everything. The real evidence, the truth you tried to bury. Is that a threat? It's a fact. Robert's smile widened. You're brave. Stupid, but brave. Do you have any idea what I can do to you? Do you have any idea what I can do to you? I shot back. Because I've taken down bigger fish than you, Mr. Cross, and I have absolutely nothing left to lose. For the first time, uncertainty flickered across his face. Ethan, he said, turning to his son, be reasonable. This woman is using you. She wants revenge for her career. Once she gets what she wants, she'll disappear and leave you holding the bag. You're right, Ethan said. She is going to get revenge. But not on me. On you. Don't be absurd. I have the files, Dad. Victoria's files. The ones showing every illegal deal you've made for the past 20 years. Every bribe, every cover-up, every life you've destroyed. Robert's face went white. You're bluffing. Am I? Ethan pulled out his phone. Should I send them to the SEC now, or would you rather we have a real conversation about your retirement? You wouldn't dare. Watch me. His thumb hovered over the send button. The silence was suffocating. Finally, Robert laughed. It was a cold, brittle sound. "You think you've won?" he said. "But you have no idea what's coming. I built this empire. I own half the politicians in this city. I have resources you can't even imagine. And I have the truth," I said, "which is worth more than all your money." "The truth?" he sneered. "The truth is whatever people believe it is. And by tomorrow morning, everyone will believe you're a liar, and my son is having a mental breakdown." "Again." Ethan flinched. "Good luck with your crusade," Robert said, walking to the door. "You're going to need it." He left. The silence he left behind was deafening. "He's going to destroy us," I said quietly. "I know." "We need to move fast. Get the files out before he can stop us." "I know." "Ethan." I grabbed his arm, made him look at me. "Are you sure about this? Because once we start, there's no going back. Your life will never be the same." He met my eyes. "Good," he said. "I'm tired of the life I have." I smiled. "Then let's burn it all down. They're about to destroy you." 3 days later, my phone wouldn't stop ringing. Ethan's apartment had become our command center. Laptops covering the dining table, files stacked everywhere, empty coffee cups littering every surface. We hadn't slept in 48 hours. "Maya?" Ethan looked up from his computer, his face gray with exhaustion. "You need to see this." I moved to his side and my stomach dropped. The headline read, "Breaking. Cross Industries whistleblower reveals CEO Ethan Cross's history of mental illness and substance abuse." "No," I whispered. But there it was. Medical records. Photos of Ethan leaving a rehabilitation facility. Testimony from concerned employees about his erratic behavior. All of it is fake. All of it was devastating. "They're using the psychiatric hold against you," I said. "The one your father forced you into. It gets worse." He clicked to another tab. "Arrest warrants. For both of us. Charges of corporate espionage and theft of proprietary information." "That's insane. We're the whistleblowers." "My father has friends in the DA's office. They're claiming we stole the files we're trying to release." My phone buzzed. "Unknown number." I answered. "Hello? Ms. Chen." A woman's voice, professional and cold. "This is Sandra Winters from the New York Times. We'd like to give you an opportunity to comment on allegations that you fabricated evidence in the Meridian case." "I didn't fabricate anything." "We have sources claiming you paid witnesses to lie, that you manufactured documents, that the real fraud was yours, not Meridian's." "That's not true." "Then you deny the allegations?" "Of course Thank you for your comment." She hung up. I stared at my phone, numb. "They've turned the entire media against us," I said. "Every outlet, every journalist, they're all running the same lies. Because my father owns them. Control them." Ethan stood, started pacing. "This is what he does. He doesn't just fight you. He erases you. Make it so no one will ever believe anything you say again." "So we're done?" "I didn't say that." "Then what do we do?" He stopped pacing, looked at me with an intensity that made my breath catch. "We go public. Ourselves. No intermediaries. No editors who can kill the story. We release everything directly to the people." "How?" "Live stream. Social media. We put it all out there at once. Files, recordings, testimony, everything. They can't stop a signal once it's everywhere." "They'll arrest us the moment we go live." "Probably. Your father will use every resource he has to take us down." "Definitely. We could lose Ethan. We could end up in prison while he walks free." "I know." He took my hands. "But at least we'll have tried. At least we'll have told the truth." I looked at our joined hands, felt the warmth of his skin against mine. When has this stopped being about revenge? When did I start caring about him? "Okay," I said. "Let's do it. But we need protection. Someone who can't be bought." "I know someone." Ethan grabbed his, "Tell them everything." Ethan grabbed his phone and dialed. "Marcus, it's Ethan Cross. I need your help." A pause. "No, I'm not safe. Neither is Maya. We're going public with evidence against my father, and we need someone who can't be bought." Another pause. "Yes, I know what I'm asking." Please. He hung up. Marcus Reynolds, he said. Federal prosecutor. He tried to go after my father 10 years ago and got shut down. If anyone wants to see him fall, it's Marcus. Will he come? He's already on his way. 20 minutes later, there was a knock at the door. Marcus Reynolds was tall, black, with gray at his temples and eyes that had seen too much. He carried a briefcase and wore a bulletproof vest under his jacket. You're either incredibly brave or incredibly stupid, he said, walking in. Both, I replied. He looked at me. Maya Chen, I read your Meridian work. Best investigative journalism I've seen in years. Thank you. They destroyed you for it. They tried. Marcus smiled grimly. Good. I like survivors. He set his briefcase on the table. Show me what you've got. We spent the next hour walking him through everything. The files Victoria had planted, the evidence of Robert Cross's decades of corruption, the web of bribes, threats, and murders. Yes, murders. 3 whistleblowers had died in the past 15 years, all ruled accidents, all connected to Robert Cross. Marcus listened without interrupting. When we finished, he sat back. This is enough to bring down half the city's power structure, he said quietly. Will you help us? Ethan asked. I'll do better than that. I'll give you federal protection, but only if you agree to testify. Under oath. Everything you know. Done, Ethan said immediately. Maya? I hesitated. If I testify, your father will use every lie he's created to discredit me. They'll say I'm making it all up. Let them, Marcus said, because we have the documents, the recordings, the paper trail. Your testimony is just the beginning. When do we start? Now. I'm placing both of you in protective custody. We move you to a safe house tonight. No. Ethan shook his head. We go public first. Live stream. We can't risk my father burying this before it gets out. That's suicide. Maybe. But it's the only way to guarantee the truth survives even if we don't. Marcus studied him for a long moment. You really are nothing like your father, he said finally. Fine. We do the live stream, but I'm calling in backup. SWAT, FBI, everyone I can get. Because the moment you go live, all hell breaks loose. I'm counting on it, Ethan said. We set up the camera in Ethan's living room. Outside, armed federal agents had taken positions around the building. Helicopters circled overhead. Marcus had called in every favor he had. Are you ready? I asked Ethan. He was staring at his laptop where the files were queued up. Decades of his father's crimes, ready to be exposed. No, he said, but let's do it anyway. I hit the button. We went live. Within seconds, viewers started flooding in. Hundreds, thousands, 10,000. My name is Ethan Cross, he began, his voice steady. And I'm here to tell you the truth about my father, Robert Cross, and Cross Industries. He started talking, methodically, clearly. He explained everything, the bribes, the cover-ups, the threats. He showed documents on screen, played audio recordings of his father ordering illegal actions. I watched the comment section explode. This is fake. He's lying. No way this is real. But others, I worked for Cross Industries. This is true. My father was one of the whistleblowers. He died in a car accident. Finally, someone is speaking up. 20 minutes in. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I answered. Hello? Ms. Chen. Robert Cross's voice was ice cold. You've made a terrible mistake. Have I? I'm watching your little performance, very dramatic. But it won't matter. 50,000 people are watching right now. In 10 minutes, it'll be 100,000. You can't stop this. Can I? He laughed. I've already made calls. By tomorrow, you'll be arrested. Ethan will be committed, and everyone will forget this ever happened. You're wrong. Am I? Look outside. I went to the window. My blood ran cold. Police cars, dozens of them, surrounding the building. What did you do? I breathed. I told them you're holding my son hostage, that you're armed and dangerous. In about 60 seconds, they're going to storm that apartment. And when they do, it will be very easy for something unfortunate to happen. You're going to have us killed. I'm going to protect my son from a mentally unstable stalker. That's what the headlines will say tomorrow. He hung up. Ethan! I ran back to the living room. We have a problem. He looked up from the camera. What? Your father just called. He told the police we're armed hostage takers. They're about to raid the building. The color drained from his face. Marcus burst through the door. We need to move. Now. NYPD is coming in hot and they're not listening to federal jurisdiction. We can't stop the stream, Ethan said. If we go dark now, he wins. If you stay here, you die. Then I die. Ethan looked at me. Maya, go. Marcus will protect you. Are you insane? This is my fight. My father. My responsibility. Bullshit. I grabbed the camera, turned it to face us both. We started this together. We finish it together. Ethan stared at me. Maya. Too late. I'm not leaving. Marcus swore. You're both idiots. He pulled out his radio. All units, fortify positions. We're holding this location. Footsteps thundered in the hallway, shouting, NYPD, open up! Federal jurisdiction, Marcus yelled back. This is an active federal investigation. We have orders to extract a hostage. There's no hostage! Stand down! Open this door, or we're coming through. Ethan never stopped talking to the camera, even as the door shook from battering rams, even as smoke grenades crashed through the windows. The documents are being uploaded to 17 different servers as I speak, he said calmly. They're going to whistleblower organizations, to journalists, to prosecutors. My father can't stop this. No one can. The door splintered. Armed officers poured in. Get down! Get down now! Marcus stepped in front of us, badge held high. FBI! These individuals are under federal protection. Step aside. I'm ordering you to stand down. We have our orders. The live stream viewer count hit 200,000, then 500,000. The comments were chaos. Don't let them stop this. Record everything. The whole world is watching. An officer grabbed Ethan's laptop. No! I lunged for it. Someone tackled me. My face hit the floor. Pain exploded through my skull. Through blurry vision, I saw Ethan fighting, saw Marcus shouting, saw the camera still recording, now knocked on its side, but still live. You can kill us, Ethan shouted at the officers, blood running from his nose. But you can't kill the truth. It's already out there. Everyone can see what you're doing. An officer raised his baton. Stand down. The new voice was pure authority. Everyone froze. A woman pushed through the crowd of officers. FBI Director Sarah Chen, Marcus's boss. What the hell is going on here? She demanded. We have orders to... I don't care what orders you have. This is a federal witness protection case. You just assaulted 2 federal witnesses on camera in front of 500,000 people. Do you have any idea what you've done? The officer went pale. Get out, Director Chen said, coldly. All of you. Now. They left. She helped me up. Then Ethan. Are you hurt? She asked. I'm fine, I managed, though my head was spinning. I'm not, Ethan said, but I'm not stopping. Director Chen looked at the camera, still recording, at the laptop, still uploading files, at the viewer count, now over 1 million. She smiled. Good, she said. Neither are we. Marcus, get medical here, and someone got me Robert Cross's location. I want him in custody within the hour. I'll tell them everything. 30 minutes later, I sat on Ethan's couch with an ice pack on my head while a paramedic checked my pupils. The live stream was still running. Ethan was still talking. The hardest part isn't exposing my father's crimes, he said to the camera. It's accepting that I was complicit by staying silent. I told myself I was protecting the company, protecting employees' jobs. But really, I was protecting myself, my comfort, my inheritance. He paused, looked directly into the camera. I'm done protecting him. I'm done protecting myself. Starting now, Cross Industries will cooperate fully with federal investigators. We will open every file, every record, every account, and anyone, including me, who broke the law will face consequences. The stock ticker at the bottom of news feeds showed Cross Industries in free fall. Down 40%, down 50%, trading halted, billions of dollars evaporating in real time. My phone rang. Marcus. Turn on the news, he said. I grabbed the remote. Every channel showed the same thing. Robert Cross being led out of his office in handcuffs. His face was purple with rage. He was shouting something at the cameras, but the FBI agents kept him moving. "We got him," Marcus said, along with 12 other executives. "The DA is scrambling to distance himself from the case. Half the city government is probably panicking right now." "Is it over?" I asked. "Not even close. This is going to take years to prosecute. But the important part? The truth is out. No one can bury it now." I hung up and looked at Ethan. He'd stopped recording, sat with his head in his hands. "Hey," I said softly, sitting beside him. "I just destroyed my family legacy." "No, you destroyed your family's crimes. There's a difference. The company is gone. The stock is worthless. Thousands of people just lost their jobs because of me. Because of your father's decisions, not yours. Does it matter? They're still suffering." I took his hand. "Yes, it matters. Because now, we can rebuild. Clean. Honest. The right way." He looked at me and his eyes were red. "I don't know how to do that," he said. "I don't know how to be anything except what my father made me." "Then learn. That's what second chances are for." He squeezed my hand. "Will you help me? Are you asking me to stay?" "I'm asking you to consider it. After everything settles, after the trials, after—" He trailed off. "I know I have no right to ask. You've already risked everything for me, but I kissed him. It wasn't planned. Wasn't calculated. It just happened." When I pulled back, his eyes were wide with shock. "That was—" he started. "A terrible idea," I finished. "You're about to be the most investigated person in America. I'm about to spend the next year testifying in court. This is literally the worst possible time for—" He kissed me back. Longer this time. Deeper. "Yeah," he said when we finally broke apart. "Terrible idea. The worst. Want to keep making terrible decisions together?" I smiled. "Absolutely. If you believe stories should end with courage, not cliches, subscribe before the final chapter. Watch it. 6 months later." I was running late for a coffee meeting with my editor. The new investigative outlet, Truth Matters, funded by what was left of Ethan's fortune after fines and restitution, was about to publish its first major story. I rounded the corner, fumbling with my phone, and almost slammed into someone. "Hey, watch it," the person said. I looked up and froze. Ethan stood there, casual clothes, no suit, no tie. He looked different, lighter somehow. "You," I said. "Me." We stood there, on the busy New York sidewalk, people streaming past us. "I thought you were in California," I said. "The trial. Finished yesterday. Dad got 20 years. Most of the board got 5 to 10. It's over. And you? Community service, restitution, probation. I lost everything except my freedom." He smiled. "Turns out that's enough. What are you doing here? Meeting someone for coffee? You?" "Same." We stared at each other. "Maya," he started. "Ethan," I said at the same time. We laughed. "You first," he said. I took a breath. "I've been thinking about what you said. That night. About terrible decisions. And I'm thinking maybe they weren't so terrible after all." His eyes lit up. "Yeah? Yeah. But I have conditions." "Of course you do. No pretending, no games. If we do this, we do it honestly. I wouldn't want it any other way. And you have to accept that I'm always going to be investigating people like your father. I'm never going to stop telling the truth, even when it's uncomfortable." "I'm counting on it." He stepped closer. "Anything else?" "Yes. You're buying coffee." "I'm broke." He laughed. "Deal." We walked together toward the cafe, and as we did, I realized something. This whole thing had started with a collision. A desperate man grabbing a stranger and asking her to pretend. But now there was no pretending. Just two people who'd burned down an empire together, learning how to build something real from the ashes. "Hey, Ethan," I said as he held the door open. "Yeah? Thank you. For not being your father." He smiled. "Thank you for not letting me be." We walked inside together. And for the first time in 6 months, I felt something I hadn't expected. Hope. This story started with a lie and ended with the truth. If it moved you, even a little, subscribe for more stories about courage, justice, and the people who refuse to stay silent, because the best stories don't just entertain, they remind us who we want to be. Hit subscribe, leave a comment, and never stop questioning what you're told.